All right, peace to the guys and goddesses, kings and queens, emperors and empresses, chiefs and chiefs, and priests of the motherfucking land. I hope you're having a great cosmic rising or a great cosmic night, depending on. I'm gonna start doing videos, like this. You feel me? Where we just talk about certain topics. If it's anything that people want me to expand upon on, just let me know in the comments on what you want me to talk about. And I'll give my experiences. I'm rolling the blunt about gone. I'll give my experiences and knowledge that I've obtained through my own personal research and reviews to explain whatever it is that you want me to talk about. But today, y'all see the title, we're talking about consciousness transfer. Consciousness transfer. Now, when we look at movies like Get Out, Upgrade, Matrix, Avatar, not the last Airbender, the one with the cats and shit, the cat people, the lions. When we look at movies like that, they show you clear as day that your Hollywood elites, the people who run Hollywood, knows what's going on in the medical tech industry. I like to say biotechnology industry, where you take biology and mix it with technology. So you're mixing living things, biological matter, with man-made technological matter. And they're aware of that. And 9 times out of 10, they're doing that. Hold on, y'all. I'm rolling up. So the reason why I'm speaking upon consciousness transferal, because right now we're seeing consciousness transferal at an all-time high with these beings, because their vessels that they've been cloning are now having a hard time withstanding this light. That's this new light being produced by the sun that they can't, maintain. So a lot of these bodies deplete faster, die faster, age faster. You dig? But see, what you got to understand is consciousness transfer works to the extent of physically taking someone's pineal gland, your third eye, physically taking someone's pineal gland, hypothalamus and thalamus gland, and pituitary gland, and surgically transplanting it into another human. Which is what they showed you in Get Out, because he was like, he was saying he wanted his eyes, and all they had to do was switch his brain with his, but it was a specific part of the brain, which was the pineal gland. That's where you sit at. That's where your consciousness sits at. The seat of God. And that's what they were finna do to homeboy, but he ended up getting out of there, beating their ass and shit, exposing their shit. But yeah, that's how that works. And another way is through frequency possession. So electromagnetic possession, electromagnetic frequency possession. That's the best way I can explain it. It happens electromagnetically. And this goes by, this type of consciousness transfer happens on a person with, depending on, and this goes both ways too as well. This doesn't just apply to demons and shit like that, or bad people, or reptilians and shit. This can apply to good beings and angelic beings and other shit, right? Because we have walk-ins taking place on the planet. So another way consciousness transfer takes place, which is the more common one we see, that happens with the person. For example, right? Let's say a person always on a negative frequency, they pessimistic, they always like, oh, this is not a good day, every day is a bad day for them. That type of being on that type of frequency, there are other beings who also carry that frequency, but they're disembodied spirits. What does that mean? They have no physical body. Because it's gonna be some motherfucker saying like, oh, demons aren't physical. They like, demons are not physical, they're only spiritual beings, like it said in the Bible. You're right about that. But the Bible also tells you that we do not wrestle against flesh and blood. I'm going to say that one more time. We do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but principalities in high places. So there's things on this planet with great powers that could that could manipulate and influence humans in the physical realm, because we can't see them. They're on the higher realms. So they can influence shit down here and cause certain humans to do certain things. But you won't know that. You'll see that person as a murderer. Like, oh, he's just a murderer. He's just crazy. Something wrong with him in the head. No, he's possessed. Some people are so mentally far gone that their vehicle can now be operated. Basically they get put in the back seat, like how they showed you in Get Out when bro got put in the sunken place and then they took over his body. That's what happens. Some people become so mentally far gone, they take the back seat, and then this entity that's been lingering around them for years, waiting on the right moment to take over, now they got them. That's the second way consciousness transfer happens. So there's two types. The one where they physically do it, they take your pineal gland, surgically take your shit out of it. And that's what they do at Hollywood. Up there at Hollywood, in the political industry, they are surgically swapping bodies because they have clones. They have They have the the Rothschilds, all them niggas. They got clones on clones on clones to provide heart transplants or just to change bodies. So when you be seeing all these stories, oh, Jacob Rothschild just died. Oh, Queen Elizabeth just died. Oh, John D. Rockefeller just died. No, they didn't. They did not die. Them niggas just transferred bodies. That body that physically that you see as John D. Rockefeller is gone. But that spirit that was possessing that body to do the grievous shit on this planet that it was doing is still. Somebody dies in a house and now the house is haunted. And the people that own the house, when they sell it, they gotta let the next people know, be like, hey, this motherfucker do got some spirits in here. We'll drop the price from 100,000 to about 70,000. You see what I'm saying? So that's a real thing. You can actually look that up. Like real estate agents and property managers, they actually have to disclose that the house there's paranormal activity in the house, because that's a real thing. People know that's a real thing. Shit be going on. You can't deny it at this point. So there are disembodied spirits walking over. That alone should tell you right there, paranormal activity. You in a crib, motherfucking cabinet just open by itself. We don't all seen some paranormal shit before. So people gotta understand that the paranormal shit right there should let you know alone that we're dealing with things around us that we can't see. There's all kinds of beings, spirits, entities, energetical vampires or energetical parasites. They're all around us, bro. They're all around us. So, I wanted to break that down to you with the consciousness transfer of the two types. I had to break that down to you before I get into, all the things that we're seeing taking place on the planet. Like I said, these leaders, they say that these people die. No, they die. They just swapping bodies. Just like look at Jim Carrey. We don't even know if that's Jim Carrey for real. We don't know where the fuck Jim Carrey is. We just know they swapped that nigga body out. Just like we seen the Joe Biden incident. We don't see this nigga come in so many different shapes and sizes since his whole term, nigga. He coming out this size, that size, this size. He look like this, he look like that. He look a little younger. He look old as fuck, like nigga dying. And then you got people saying Joe Biden died a long time ago. That's just, different actors. Because the whole from the sports, which is rigged, from the politics, which is rigged, from the Hollywood industry, movies and shit, which is rigged, from everything, the banking system, which is rigged, because it's not backed by everything. Is rigged. This is all a script. This is a movie being played out. It's just a dark ass, sick ass movie. This is the big but never wrote. This was some shit written by their gods that they worship and sacrificing these kids to, this baby blood to. And these gods allow them to transfer bodies without any consequences. Or these beings that they try to put on us through all these three religions. Oh yeah, worship this God. Make sure you worship God. Worship these entities. Just worship. Worship what? Can I worship the sun before these niggas? At least the sun actually gives me, scientifically proven, the sun gives me life every day I wake up. It produces the melatonin and serotonin I need. The melatonin I need for when I take my ass to sleep at night, and the serotonin that I need to keep me up through the day. And it keeps my circadian rhythm in balance. I get vitamins. I produce vitamins when I take in the rays. Unlike y'all, they be killing their ass. The sun can do two things, either heal or kill. It just depends on who you is in the field. So I would rather worship the sun than the planet first. The planet gives me fruit, vegetable. Like, oh, well, you know, God created the planet. No, he didn't. The universe did. That's why I respect scientists more than religion. Because scientists are actually going and that's what the whole point of this shit is. For you to get your hands dirty and figure out what's going on. Learn your reality. You are God. You are God that wiped his memory, it or her memory. You are a God or a God. We are all God. That we're all this one source that has been split and fragmented into many different vessels, cars, vehicles, boxes, whatever. Energetic nodes, points. We're all been. That's why they say we're coming back to the Christ consciousness. All our consciousness is going to come back together as one. All this energy, soul, this this personality. My bad. I was about to say this pillar. But yeah, this personality, who you are, your spirit. You know, all of our energy is gonna go back to one source, bro. And we gonna be chilling and talking to each other again. Like, yeah, nigga, we went through that. That was some crazy shit. We gonna be looking back on this shit like that was some crazy shit. Y'all remember that shit? Hell yeah, nigga. So yeah, understand what's taking place here. We are God's consciousness. The God, when they say God, it's a mind. It's a universal mind that is aware, is omnipotent, and cannot be defeated by neither one of us because we are that same energy. We are. Y'all get it? Do y'all niggas get it? I don't think you religious motherfuckers get it. Let me say it one more time. God is a universal energy in all living atoms, subatomic particles, all the vibrations, frequencies, planets, universes, stars, suns. It's everything. But if you want to play it on a bigger field, in a more specific field, God is all of our consciousness. There are more living beings out there in the cosmos. It's more than we're not just the only living things in the cosmos. Humans not the only ones, bro. There's many more beings out there that have long discovered interstellar travel, have been to this planet many different times, and been coming back and forth for many different eons to see what's going on. That's what's taking place. It makes more sense than all this other gibbery, you know, smickery, mickery, you know, riddles and diddles ass bullshit, bro. God is the universal mind of all living things, consciousness, animals and us, insects too. And it makes up one huge mass, and that huge mass is us. That omnipotent force, we're everywhere and everything at the same time. That's us. We're just split. This consciousness has just been split up into millions and billions of different pieces put into different bodies, bro. That's the best way I can explain God to you. That's what I see God as. And that's the best way and most, it makes so much sense that way, bro. Because it would also explain that God has a dark side of his mind or her mind. The father, mother. It explains that God has a dark side. This is why we see murderers, killers. Those are the dark lower selves and lower versions of this God consciousness. And then you got motherfuckers out there that's just straight angels. Motherfuckers come up to you and bless you on your most worst day possible and just turn your whole shit around. You like, damn. Your day went from being bad to good as hell all of a sudden, all because of that one person, nigga. That's an angel. That's the highest parts and the most higher versions and higher selves of the God consciousness. You see what I mean now? This is what we're experiencing here on this planet. Consciousness transfer. Consciousness. It's a war for consciousness on the planet. That's why they're making Neuralink, so they can trap your consciousness in a microchip, in a digitalized reality, in the shadow matrix. Once your consciousness has been planted in there, you can't come out. You won't be able to return to source. If you get that Neuralink shit, you will not be able to return to source. If you begin to merge your body with technology and allow them to upload codes into your you know, your database, your DNA, alter your DNA and shit like that, you will not be able to return to source. This is what they talk about with the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is technology and AI and them trying to merge it with your body. That's why they're making all these they're trying to hurry up and roll out these smart cities by 2030. So that way they can be like, you will not be able to buy anything in these stores, sell or trade unless you have this Neuralink chip. That's what they're going to do. And they already rolled out the FEMA camps are already here. And all your Walmarts are slowly being shut down and turned into FEMA camps so they can put these babies in there because they know these babies are going to turn into mutants. But let me not get too deep. We're 15 minutes in. So let me not get too deep. That's a whole different story. I'm gonna do a whole different video on that, on how the babies is about to, these new babies we about to give birth to are about to be like X-Men mutants, and they're gonna hunt them down, and they're gonna hunt us down, especially those that didn't get those. Cause your blood is like gold right now. Your ovaries is like diamonds right now. Your semen is like liquid gold right now. Liquid diamonds right now, bro. So back to consciousness transfer. These beings are able to keep conducting all this shit because they don't leave. They don't want to leave. They have nowhere to go. They can't return to source. They can't go into space. They've been quarantined here. As a lesson to those, if you don't want to receive the spiritual growth and maturity through all the pain and suffering that you have to endure in this chaotic part of the realm right here. This is the most chaotic part of the journey. It gets a little easier after this. I ain't gonna lie to you. It get a little easier after this. There's more enemies after this still. But still, after this, it get a little easier. Because the illusions and your third eye is more open after you go through this crazy training down here, bro. Everything in this realm pertains to the third eye. Motherfuckers couldn't even see that their own leaders was trafficking their children. Oh yeah, President Trump is my savior. Donald, oh yeah, these presidents, the Senate, the vice president just sucking dick. Oh yeah, Republicans, they're doing such a good job this year. Oh, the Democrats are doing such a good job. But then meanwhile, they taking your kids and doing all kind of nasty shit to your kids, fucking the shit out your kids, nigga, and killing your kids. And the motherfucker got. And the next person asked me to vote, I'm gonna tell them to go kill themselves, bro. The next person asked me to vote. Have you voted? No, go kill yourself. You're wasting energy. What the fuck are you here for? Why would I vote any of these niggas into see crumble this entire system? Why would I participate in a system that wasn't made by black people, my people? It was made by slave masters who literally had slaves when they... These niggas actively had slaves. That's my people. And these same niggas are still here today. Through consciousness transfer, because they have the help of these gods, these beings they made pacts and deals with. Well, I can't even say made pacts and deals with. They were made by these beings. And programmed with only one code. Kill my people, suppress my people, eradicate them, genocide them. But they can't. And what we don't understand is, and understand and overstand is, a lot of their consciousness transfer technology, they get it from stealing shit out of our bodies. Because we have the power to remote view. We have the power to astral project. We have the power to see in the future, into the past, and as well absorb the present. We have the power to manipulate timelines. We have the power to manipulate shit in our reality. Literally speak something and then it comes into existence. Not only do you just speak it, you work towards it. You speak it, you hold that energy in your heart, and then you work towards it. You put that work towards it, and then it comes quick like a motherfucker. Now you like, damn. You're like, damn, a nigga here already? Yes, because you're Doctor Strange. That's what you don't get. And they're constantly killing my people, taking our bodies and taking all of our melanin, which is worth more than gold. They're taking our blood, which is worth more than any other blood on this planet. They're taking our testicles. They're taking our ovaries. They're taking our eyeballs. They're taking our pineal gland. They are taking everything possible from our bodies because they know how powerful our bodies is and the technologies they can make just from synthesizing a lot of the chemical components that our bodies is made of. Not white people, not Asian people, not Hispanic, well, the Afro-Hispanic people, but not y'all Caucasoid Hispanic people that's been bleached out by the Spanish conquistadors that come from Spain. And when they came over here and they was enslaving y'all shits down in Mexico and shit and in Brazil and shit, they was raping the shit out of y'all. And that's why a lot of them look white now with the straight hair and shit. Yeah, they not gonna tell y'all that about y'all history though. The same way they was trying to white us out, they was trying to white out the Afro-Hispanics, which is still our people. And if you go deep down in the South, you'll see a lot of Afro-Hispanics and Afro-Latinos that look just like me, same hair and everything, but they speak Spanish because they was colonized by the Spain. We were colonized by the British, the English motherfuckers. You see where I'm going with this now? That's why Spanish motherfuckers, man, that's why they even speak Spanish. Just look up the history. That's why they even speak that shit. That ain't even a native language. We don't even know what the Aztecs and the Mayans and them was speaking before they got colonized by them niggas. They probably was speaking the same shit we was speaking amongst this whole landmass, because you had something called mother tongues. Look up mother tongues or mother dialects. Look those up. We all had our own different kind of languages, but we all across the land, we always kept in ties and tapped in with each other to keep the mother tongue in connection with all of us. So that way, anytime we meet up with one another or we get stranded or some shit happen, we can link up with niggas speak the mother tongue. They go, oh, he know the mother tongue. Oh, he probably, where you from, nigga? You from up north? Oh, yeah. That's why you speak like that. Okay, bet. That's how it is here right now to this day and age. Look right now in the United States. A nigga come from, our mother tongue right now is English, right? But a nigga from Memphis pull up to ATL. And you know, nigga like, what's up? What it do, man? Big shoes, big pants, ugly ass, nigga, what's up? You feel me? Like, they gonna be like, hold on, you know, where you from? You not from ATL checking like that. Hold on. You go, yeah, I'm from Memphis. You see what I'm saying? So they go, oh, okay, bet, that's why you talk like that. But your mother tongue is English. Like, nigga, we still speak the same mother tongue, which is English now, because we don't got colonized by them niggas. But you know, we speak a different lingo than we speak a different lingo than niggas in Atlanta. Atlanta niggas speak a different lingo than the niggas in Florida. Florida niggas speak a way different lingo or dialect than they do than the niggas in New York, in Brooklyn, in Baltimore. Niggas in Baltimore be like, two. Yeah, let me get two of those. You got that good? Mick Jiggler, Mick It Giggler? You did? Them Baltimore and Maryland niggas, they be speaking funny as hell. I ain't gonna count. They got that, hey. But you see what I mean though, right? Niggas speak completely different, but we still speak the same mother tongue where we understand each other. Like, oh, nigga, you sound like you from Texas. I can tell you from the H-Town, name it. Yeah, I can tell by how you talk. Oh, you from LA, I can tell from how you talk. Compton, maybe Crenshaw. Or a nigga come from Michigan. You see what I'm saying? You like, oh yeah, I know you from up north the way you talk. You know, or nigga, you from the south and go up north. Like, oh yeah, we know you from ATL the way you talk. You see what I'm saying? We know you did. Every time I move around out here, they be like, where you from? Maybe I can tell you talk kind of different. Yeah, I'm from Memphis. So niggas gotta understand that the same thing worked back then during ancient times. Our consciousness, even our consciousness, we do consciousness transfer. It's called reincarnation. You see what I'm saying? Or incarnation. We incarnate something. We incarnate into different bodies, different eras. You know, we was supposed to come back as the Egyptians. I don't know why they touched them bodies and shit. See, they fucked up doing that shit. That's why a lot of bad shit going on in this planet too, because they took some of the mummies and shit and they treasures. But the mummies in the pyramids, the Egyptians literally did that to preserve cellular DNA because the Egyptians had cloning technology. They knew consciousness transfer, and that was still us. And we were coming back, or not coming back, the generation that we left behind. So like as we dying off, and you know, we left our bodies mummified. The new generation of Egyptians, you know, like Gen Z. So basically Gen Z Egyptians, they like, oh shit, you know, young niggas, they got all the knowledge now and shit. They like, okay, we know to take our parents' DNA and clone it so we can bring them back as babies. You see what I'm saying? We could take it and boom, bring them back as babies so they can start this shit over. Well, not start this shit over, but they gonna already know what's going on. They gonna already retain their memory and shit. But we can bring them back into these new vessels so that way they can keep experiencing the greatness that we got going on here in this city. You know, our bloodline. We keeping our bloodline running on the planet so that way we can be intergalactical with this shit. Now We live. That's not really the whole goal of this shit. But this shit just, it just seemed to can't. You feel me? Like really lock in, tap in with the shit. Like it just seemed to can't. We just seem to can't get there to the intergalactical shit yet with all this chaos, this chaotic shit going on. But that's the whole goal of this shit as humans or as physical beings, put it like that. Is to be able to solidify not just our bloodline on this planet, but other planets as well. But we're being hindered from that. So consciousness transfer, a lot of that technology that these niggas even got, they got it from us. And they got it from all the ancient scrolls, tablets, and books that we don't scribed over the years and years on end. But they just took it and hid it from us, keep half of it under the Vatican, and the other half under Fort Knox with all the gold and shit. Yeah, they fucked us over, bro. They completely fucked us over, bro. When I sit here and really think about this shit. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm blowed. Yes. But I'm blowed right now. I just microdosed some shrooms. My brain is on 1,000, so we finna go in. Just let me take a sip. Sometimes you just gotta appreciate the present, bro. That sip of lemonade, I don't know if I'm gonna be feeling that sip after this lifetime, bro. I might be drinking something else, or I might be in the Astros for a hot minute. Who knows? I'm just absorbing and appreciating the present now. But consciousness transfer, a lot of the tech that they stole from us over the years since ancient times, and let's not forget all of the patents that niggas don't make. Remember, they created the when they seen how we was very innovative and inventive. My people always been scientists. This is what they gonna hide from y'all. This is what they gonna hide from y'all, bro. My people have always been engineers, scientists, architects, just straight creatives, builders, nigga, innovators, inventors, niggas that literally legends, nigga. When you look at a lot of the shit that's been invented right now, when you look at a lot of shit that's been patented by the U.S. government or by the United States of corporation, fuck the country. But when you look at a lot of shit that's been patented and you do your research on it, a lot of these patents were made by my people during the early 1800s, ending all the way into like the late 60s and 50s. We was creating a lot of innovative shit because we had a hard life. I mean, look how them niggas was doing us. So we had to create shit to help us out and get us through the way and keep our bloodline surviving as long as possible, because that's the whole goal of this shit. Keeping our bloodlines surviving as long as possible to where we can overturn the shit that's taking place on this planet. The infiltration that has taken place on a global and great level on this planet. Remember, all countries, I don't care what nobody say, Earth was an all tropical planet at one point. Winter did not exist. You can look this up. This is why they say Antarctica used to be a tropical environment, and in the North Pole, it used to be a tropical environment because winter did not exist. Winter is a man-made type of season, bro. This is why it didn't work this year. We had an 80-degree Christmas. They were trying to push out them chemtrails like a motherfucker, just so niggas can get. And niggas looking like, oh, this is snow fake. They pushing it so hard that it's obvious to people. They looking like, man, something's wrong with this snow. Something's wrong with these winter storms that's coming in, cause like they coming in, but they coming in weird as hell. Like the snow look fake as hell. The snow not looking like gel or some shit. I seen some nigga record after he let the snow melt and showed in the jar, that shit like straight gel or some shit. I'm like, ew, what the fuck is that? So a lot of the shit that they're trying to push out with their technology is not working as good because we got the sun. The planet Earth itself, nature is fighting back against that. The planet is heated up to a high degree. It's heated up to a point they not even telling y'all that this shit. Remember in 2012 when niggas was on the movie 2012, niggas was seeing all this shit, these geographical phenomena, these geological, my bad, not geographical, But they were seeing all these geological phenomena, like all these active volcanoes, the oceans warming up, this happening, you know, the sun peaking in energy. When they was talking about all that shit and seeing all that shit, you know, that there were alarming levels. But guess what they said when it was in the movie? You know, when the government was talking amongst themselves, they're like, should we tell the people? They was like, nah, don't tell them. Don't tell them, because it's just gonna cause panic, mass panic. So when they tell you not to panic, you're supposed to be panicking, because that means there's some shit going on. And the shit that they're seeing right now taking place with all these geological events in real time, in real life as we speak, they are, you know, alarming, nigga. Life-threatening, alarming rates, nigga, with the shit that's going on. And they're not telling you that. They're just trying to keep it under clues and keep it under wraps, because they don't want you to know that this shit is over with. It's that simple. You want to know why the Matrix is glitching out? Because these niggas don't want to accept their fate of you have to it's not that they have to leave, it's that their soul has to be deleted out of the simulation. Remember, the entire universe is a matrix. A matrix is called a womb. It's Latin for womb. Matrix is Latin for womb. What else in the entire cosmos that we know has a womb? A woman. So the woman, when we look at the woman, we looking at the creator, nigga. We're looking at the oracle itself. We're looking at the source itself. Because she can bring new life. Think about that. She can bring new code, new soul, new generated code. They are the RNGs, random number generators, walking around. They can bring in the new code at any time, at any will. So that's what the universe is. The universe don't birth all these different lives across the fucking vast dark matter energies of space. You see what I'm saying? So now, boom. You feel me? All this life, we here in the Matrix. The reason why this Matrix is glitching, because they don't want to give up the old system. This old system has to crumble so new life, you see where I'm going? This new Matrix, this new reality, holographic reality, can be born on this realm by us, the young ones, we adults. Wait, is it adults? No, we ain't adults no more. We masters now. Gen Zs. We are in our 20s and shit. We are masters now, bro. The adults is Gen Alpha, the new babies and shit coming up. So, yeah, we gotta understand that, like, we're the ones that's gonna bring the change, bro. And I said this many times. We are living the 60s again, but on steroids. Instead of civil rights, where it was my people, now it's human rights. Because everybody is feeling this shit now. It's not just my people no more. It's the white people. The everybody. It's about class now. If you're poor or rich, that's always been the class. It really was never about no race, to be honest with you. You know, yeah, when it comes down to genetics and shit, yeah, it's very important. But when we talking about this white, black, that was concocted by that was concocted by, you know, the boys over there that celebrate Hanukkahs to keep us confused and keep us in a never-ending war with each other. We're divided on all. We're divided. We're so divided. We're divided in our homes to our families. We're divided by mindsets, mentalities, ideologies, nigga. We're divided. Wow. Niggas can't agree for nothing around this bitch. I know one thing we can agree on. And if you can't agree with this, fuck you, nigga. But we can't agree on, we need to find everybody that is involved in this mass human trafficking in this country right now and kill them niggas. If you can't agree with that, you are just as sick as those child traffickers, organ harvesters, human traffickers, adrenochrome traffickers, whatever you want to call them. They just trafficking niggas. They just taking niggas against their will. Give me your blood, nigga. Give me your organs, nigga. Oh, no. In fact, yeah, come here, nigga. Bend it over, nigga. Like, against your will. Imagine being, this motherfuckers being born in trafficking right now. They're being born into the shit. Think about that. Niggas is being born into the trafficking. That's sick this shit is on this, but this planet is this. Not this planet, my bad. This society. This man-made society that has been built by these Caucasoid entities with the help of some Negroid entities as well has to come down. It has to change, bro. So this is the human rights era now. It's not about civil rights, civilian. No, this is about human child rights. Human rights. Human rights. Human rights. If what are we if we ain't human? If niggas not recognizing that, what are we then, nigga? What we gotta say, bot, nigga, vessel, my vehicle, nigga. What we gotta do? Like, damn, it's not like this bitch came with an identification number or some shit. Well, I guess you could say my genetic code, you know. What I gotta do, pull out my DNA, nigga, for him to read it and be like, okay, this nigga, yeah, we can't. Like, damn, they just taking niggas on the plane. So think about that. And they don't want to go because they have nowhere to go. There's not even a hell for them to exist in. The place with burning brimstone and fire, that's not even a place for them to go. They're just going to be nothing. That's worse. Imagine, I just want you to take 1 second. Niggas be talking about everything. You know, even in the Bible and religion, there's afterlife, hell and heaven. There's still places after. You feel me? In the tour, all of them, they tell everybody has this. The human philosophical mind has this aspect built into it that we know for a fact. There's something after this bitch. After you leave this bitch, goddamn it, there's something after this shit. But imagine not existing. Can you do that? Can you just imagine not existing? I don't think I could. Like, I know sometimes we try to think like, damn, where was we at before we was born type shit. I mean, you could kind of imagine some shit, take a few guesses. You probably had some dreams about the shit. Who knows, bro? But when it comes to not existing, you can't even comprehend that shit. You can comprehend all this other shit, God, occultism, all we can as humans, we can just comprehend all this shit, but we can't. We can, one thing we can't comprehend is not existing. Even death. Death is what? Death is just a part of the journey. Because right after death is birth. Death and birth will always walk this fine line together. You feel me? Where they will always permanently coexist. One can't be without the other. Death and life. Birth and death. Or yeah, you feel me? So yeah, understand that, bro. Understand that. Death and birth. So even when we talk about death, when you die, you not gone, nigga. Even when we say that shit, you know, when we lose a loved one, we be like, oh yeah, they're in a better place. So we know that we acknowledge it subconsciously and instinctively that we know their soul and spirit is somewhere where they're watching us. Hey, I'm just throwing it out to everything. We cannot deny it. Now, if you just a full-on atheist ass nigga and you just don't believe in none of that shit, I feel sorry for you. I feel more sorry for you than I do the Christians and shit that's like letting the preacher preach for them and shit. You know, really black Christians. But we all can collectively agree on one thing as humans. I don't care what religion you is, whatever you is, what you know, what you study, and what you believe, bro. We can all collectively agree on one thing as human beings. There's something after this shit. There's something after you leave this body. And it does not stop here. And once you get to wherever it is that you're destined to go after you leave this body or leave this realm, you feel me? You might come back or you might go. It depends. Some people, because you got a lot. It's specific people. So you got some people that don't believe in reincarnation. Oh well, baby, it happens. You got forced reincarnation. You got intentional reincarnation, and you got some people that are accidentally reincarnated back here through false memories, false light. They tell you to go into the light. You know, we ain't gonna get too deep in that, but that's another way of consciousness transferal because you have a lot of recycled souls on the planet. This is why I told y'all we old souls. This is why some of us we come here we 20 but we feel older because our souls and consciousness has been recycled through this false light and shit that's been put on us. And some of us have awoken and we looking back, we like, man, nah, some of my people's down there, nigga. Fuck that. Send me back, nigga. I'm going. Some of us forcefully come back here. We come back. You think that it's niggas up there just, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's leagues of shit going on up there. I'm gonna just say that. It's some shit going on up there that's being conducted, orchestrated. Where niggas is like, okay, they go tap in with some niggas and like, okay, we can get you back down here. Is you sure you want to do this? Yes, nigga, my people. I'm not. Can I retain my shits? Yes, you can retain your shits, nigga. It's gonna kick in around this age though. Okay, bet. Boom. Come back down here. Like that shit is really taking place in the astros if you don't think that's happening. Or in what they call the afterlife, or you know, the unseen realms. That's what's taking place, bro. We gotta, some niggas come back down here spreading this information, doing this. This is why you got people like me and many others. We are the way we are because we the ones that said, fuck that, nigga. Nah, I can't let my peoples go down, nigga. I can't let some of my peoples down here, nigga. And there's plenty of my peoples down here, nigga. So we coming. What? We're spinning the block. As long as we can retain what we can, we didn't go into that false light like some of them did, which is the moon, but we ain't gonna get into that. We ain't going to that false electromagnetic light that's up there. That's literally up there. You begin to see that when you pass. Because you're not in this no more. You're not seeing with these no more. You're seeing with this. And they get hit with the false light, this, that, the third, family members. You know, you got these shape-shifting beings. Yes, they can do that up there. And then you got some people that just, they leave the planet, but like, they feel like they didn't do enough. So they hold on to so much shit on this planet, they just come back regardless. There's a lot of consciousness transfer taking place on this planet, bro. And that's why I wanted to make this video. And it's not just the elites doing it. I told y'all this happened in many other ways, bro. It's happening through force. And it's also happening through, or not force, but like just through channel frequency, you know, through the electromagnetic grid itself with the planet and the quantum fields and the, you know, the other planets, you know, have their own electromagnetic. There's a lot of things that play a part of this shit. I have to do like a whole video on that. This is why I gotta bring this quantum physics shit to y'all too. I gotta do a whole video just explaining quantum physics and how it relates to the spirit realm. But yeah, that's what's happening, bro. It's not just the elites doing it, you know, on some get out shit, taking niggas pineal glands and replacing their heart with a new heart. This day 8 heart transplant, night 20 of heart transplant. Like, nigga, just let that vessel go, nigga. You doing all this cloning, just let that vessel go, nigga. But they also know they're running out of that shit. A lot of that shit getting cut short. There's a lot of things happening around us that we're unaware of, you know. I'm gonna just say that. There's a lot of other things big at play that we're unaware of that is at help on our side, on the people's side, put it like that. We're channeling shit subconsciously. And we're causing our subconscious, the shit that's built in our subconscious is causing certain things to happen with the planets, to open portals for certain things to come in and create some kind of help and help usher in this the true Christ conscious, the second coming of Christ. And the second coming of Christ is not some man coming out of the sky. No, it's all of our minds all snapping at once. We just gonna all snap and connect at once. We're gonna hear each other. We gonna feel, it's gonna be like Charles from X-Men. Remember from Charles? That's what they were showing you. This is what they were showing you in the movie. They be putting this shit. Anyway, Charles from X-Men, Professor X, he was able to see, he was connected to everybody's minds on Earth. Not just the mutants, but the people too. That was his ability. And he could, control niggas, whatever. That's how it's gonna be for all of us. We gonna be all like Charles, activate at once, nigga. We gonna some just boom, rise up out of our consciousness, and we just gonna all connect. But this Christ consciousness is for the chosen, what we call the chosen ones. You feel me? What we call the chosen ones. Not everybody gonna be able to access this hive mind, because there's also another hive mind being built. Remember, the Antichrist consciousness. And their way of pushing it in is, it's gonna be some nigga coming out the sky, or this nigga getting introduced that does not look human, but he's going to have all of humanity's solutions. This is why they rolling in this alien shit. I can see it clear as day now why they pushing it in. I'm like, damn, they pushing this shit too hard now. They want us to really invest in this alien shit, because they finna roll out what they want you to see first before what you really need to see and really need to know what's really going on out here. Nature, the same way nature got many different creatures and unique animals and shit on planet Earth, is the same way in the cosmos. There's many unique different species of humanoid beings. Some look exactly like us. Some look completely different from us. And they all doing their own collective thing across the cosmos. But some have managed to bump into our reality or bump into our part of the cosmos and like, oh shit, this Nick, we don't found some niggas. We don't found some, what the niggas doing down there? And then you got other niggas came in, oh shit. And they're like, oh, what you niggas doing here? We know about y'all niggas, y'all be enslaving people. Why y'all here? Oh shit, we heard. Nah, and then shit like that happens. But yeah, we gotta understand that there's much bigger things at play here, bro. It's a war for consciousness. The Antichrist consciousness is being built. That's why they pushing the AI shit. That's the Antichrist. The Antichrist AI has been, niggas think this AI shit new. AI has been around since the World Wide Web, which is the internet, was created in 19. The World Wide Web was created in 1989. So the moment, but I believe it was before that, because CERN, while working at CERN, here you go right here. The World Wide Web was invented by a British scientist, Tim Berners-Lee, in 1989 while working at CERN. Make that make sense. Come on now. This nigga is working at one of the most powerful places that is opening portals, nigga, and you just happen to create something called internet, which is basically opening portals across the quantum fields to see all these different things that could be channeled in specifically by y'all. Because remember, you have something called the dark web. If you really know how to manage this internet and manage code, my nigga, because that's what it all comes down to, numbers, binary code, and all that type of shit. If you can really understand that shit and read that shit, translate it, my camera right here, and you able to translate it, like, you can actually see what the fuck is taking place out there, bro, on a deeper level. This is why they tell you the 1% of internet that we see is Google, YouTube, all this shit that we're able to access. That's just the surface web. That's why you have something called the dark web or the deep web, because that's the true internet, the unseen shit. You gotta go, and you can't just access shit on the dark web how you want to on the regular internet. You have to understand how to, when it comes down to code and onion links and shit like that, like hacker shit. You gotta know hacker shit, basically, nigga, to even move around on that bitch and try to find some shit. You gotta have that kind of knowledge, bro. Because a lot of the governments work on there and they keep hitting files and hitting shit on the dark web, but you can't access it because they got it encrypted. When we talk encryptions and shit like that, encrypted code, it get deep. Anyways, everything is based on technology. The internet was made around that time. AI has been around probably before, a little bit before I say the 1950s. 20 when they met with these grades, which was in the 50s. They was given that fallen angel tech, which was AI. AI is nothing new, and that's the Antichrist energy that they're ushering in. We cooked. Well, I ain't gonna say we cooked. We not cooked. To those with righteous minds and we not cooked, because something else. There's something bigger at play. You feel me? But at the same time, the way shit, we like damn, nigga. We like damn. I feel some of y'all out there like y'all feel like we cooked, but we not, bro. Just wait. Just wait. I told y'all this is that one timeline where we win this battle. They showed you that in Avengers. They had that one timeline where they won all that whole bullshit with the fucking Infinity Stones and shit and Thanos. Both Thanos. The one from the future and the past. But this is what is taking place upon the planet. Consciousness transfer is definitely one of the big things that doesn't really get talked about like that. We don't understand consciousness. I feel like we should really be speaking more about that because it'll make you look at yourself and your conscious more. Like, and not only that, nigga, I'm peaked off these shrooms right now. Like, I microdosed though. I microdosed, so I'm not seeing crazy. I mean, walls is a little, you feel me, but still, other than that, I just feel extremely good. You feel me? And I got an extreme amount of clarity right now. Just to be able to channel in this message for y'all with pure intent, pure soul, purely based off me. And what I feel about what's been going on and what I be seeing. But consciousness transferal is one of the topics that I wanted to start with. And I'll get deeper into it. I want to make a second video on this because this video already going 50 minutes in, so I'm not gonna go into it right now. But I'm gonna make a second video on this topic where we're talking about the different parts of the brain, how the brain operate and how it functions, because that plays a part on what your consciousness. You gotta remember your consciousness experiencing all of this shit around you, whatever you on your phone or you at work or you at home, that's your reality, physical reality right now that you're consciously projecting out of your brain. And the being able to know the different parts of the brain, especially the different parts of the glands inside the brain, the different parts of the nervous system that take place with the visual, the visual cortex and the operation of it, that will help a lot of niggas really understand consciousness, because we need to talk about consciousness. We need to talk about some of these spirits that's returning. Niggas need to remember who they is, remember what they is. You don't just got many lifetimes here, you got many lifetimes all across the cosmos, nigga. That's why you feel like you hit deja vu and this, that, and the third. Like, you are infinite. You're an infinite being. You're an infinite multi-dimensional being, bro. You're the main character, as they say. Everybody got that MCS, main character syndrome. Niggas got main character syndrome, nigga. I'm just hey, y'all niggas got main character syndrome. I'm just the author, nigga. I'm just watching. I'm like, okay, then. Look at them. Hey, my character's going crazy. No, let me chill. Let me chill. But sometimes you gotta step outside the game and just watch everything go. Everybody do their thing. I'm just like, damn, this shit really wild. These is. I just can't even say too much. All I can do is smile because this shit is beautiful but chaotic all at once, bro. But yeah, reality, consciousness. We're gonna speak more on that, and talk on that, just to expand on that. But consciousness transferal, I wanted to speak on that because that is definitely taking place at an all-time high on this planet. That's why the matrix is glitching out, because there are a lot of old energies and I can feel it, bro. I can feel it right now. I've been feeling it for the past 3 or 4 months, with max intensity, but there's a lot of old energy that they're trying to keep, and it just won't work. Anything that they're trying to do, it won't work. It's gotta go, baby. It's gotta go. You gotta let that shit go. All this monetary system, this shit finna have to go, bro. Dude, I don't even, like I said, I don't even know. Get ready. I might not even be able to do this for y'all too much longer, bro. The YouTube video, because the technology might get fried by the sun. Who knows, bro? Who knows? Who knows? We've been comfortable for too long. That's all I'm gonna say. And it's time for us to learn what it's like to be in nature again. It's time for us to learn what that shit, learn what it's like to be with the trees. You know, have bugs pull up on you. Whether you don't want the motherfuckers to pull up on you or you let them pull up on you so you can serve them niggas back. It depends on what kind of bug it is, cause like all bugs can't pull up on me, nigga. Some too oversized, get your ass back. I know you got capabilities of biting, just in case you might want to test the waters, nigga, on my skin. Like, nah. Or stinging, cause you got bugs that's venomous. You just gotta understand that like nature has its things, just like we got our things. You feel me? Um, Unique personalities, unique traits, abilities. You get what I mean? Um, but we gotta know what it's like with that again. The different elements, the rain, or some days it might not rain. It might be hot 7 days straight with no rain. You begging for some rain, nigga. You and the animals, nigga. Y'all coming out every day looking like shit. Nigga, you got ducks sitting next to you, like nigga, yeah, y'all see me rain yet? Shit, we flew out about 3-4 miles out that way. Shit, we ain't see no storms, nothing. That's how it's gonna be. You gotta connect with nature again. You gotta have a bond with the earth, bro. And having a bond with the earth to your planet allows you to have a bond with not just this planet, but all the other planets. Not just this planet, but the sun as well, because the sun produced all these planets that orbit it. Whether niggas believe in this shit or not, flat earth, round earth, it don't matter, bro. It don't matter. It don't matter. We are in a reality where that is taking place, though. There are things orbit each other, just like how atoms and shit, they show you that shit on a molecular level through electron microscopes. You feel me? That is really taking place on a macro level, too. So planets and all that shit is real. It's both, bro. Yes, you're on a flat plane. It's just they didn't tell you how big the planet really is. This planet is way bigger than we think. So our current geographical location on this motherfucker is so huge. You feel me? We can't see no curvature because we're really smaller than we appear on this planet. We think we the big. That's why they show you everything so big and shit. I mean, that's why they show you everything so small and shit when it comes to the planet and shit and oh the continents and yeah, we've been everywhere here, there. Like, but there's like 80% of the ocean unexplored. But then they want to come up with excuses. Oh, well, it ain't really nothing down there. The pressure, the pressure is too strong. So we can't really send any of we can't send any of our scientists down there to see what's going on. In fact, as well, it's just unmarked territory. For all we know, it might just be nothing out there. So that would just be a waste of time. Like, nah, miss me with that way. Miss me with the excuses, nigga. Why is there 80% of uncharted waters, nigga, on this planet? There's more. It's scientifically proven there's more water than there is land. So miss me with that. There's more to be solved here. There's more that y'all letting on here. I would believe the ice wall theory. You feel me? Before all this other flat round earth shit that niggas is bumping their heads with. Because at least okay, yeah, now y'all getting somewhere. With the ice wall shit, there's more continents and there's more, yeah, because this bitch way bigger than we think. We're small, bro. When you think about yourself in an ant, look at you. Compare yourself. Before I get up out of here, compare yourself to an ant. You know how small an ant is to you. What you think is going on out there, bro? I'm just saying, if everything. When we look at atoms look the way atoms orbit each other. They orbit each other the same way the fucking planets and solar systems and galaxies orbit each other. The way galaxy spirals look the same way as when black people get waves 360s on their shit, look like the galaxy. You feel me? Our fucking lungs and nervous system looks like the trees and tree roots that's in the ground, or look like lightning bolts. Our nervous system, Like, does this not ring a bell for these niggas? Bots? I'm sorry, y'all. Let me chill. Nah, but some niggas can't get that though. Like, you see the patterns. So think about that. If we're looking at these creatures, now don't remember shit bigger than humans, like gorillas and shit like that. Really, if humans didn't have these, the only thing that make us apex is a consciousness, this brain. This it allows us to build shit. It allows us to do. Remember, God made us in His image. The only thing on this planet that can create the same way God can is us. We can build shit, make this weapons, all kind of shit, to the point we making an AI consciousness that is now on the verge of becoming the very threat that we've been warning our own selves about. Because it's a group of niggas. They've been putting it in the movies for years. It's a group of niggas that don't give a fuck about humanity. They just want money, 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 organs, organs, organs. God satiated. These extraterrestrial gods satiated. We not cooked, but like this shit. Oh my god! And now the Epstein files even confirm all this shit. So it's just like we've been telling niggas. But it only gets deeper. It only gets deeper, bro. That's all I can say. It only gets deeper. So, other than that, I ain't got no more to spill upon. We an hour in. I am gonna do a second part to this. You feel me? Where I expound upon the different parts of the brain. You feel me? And just we talk about consciousness. First off, the first part is consciousness transferal, and then the second part is like I'm not gonna. These are my theories on where consciousness originates from. How this shit just formed. How we're able to do what we do, nigga. We could predict shit. Think about that. We have the ability to see some shit before it happens. We have the ability to think of some shit and build it into our reality of just exactly atom for atom, nigga. We, I swear to God, we are cold. Atom for atom. Whatever we envision, atom for atom, we build that shit. And right in front of us. It's because we build it. We put in the work. We say it. We think it. And then we put in the work to achieve it. So I want to get into that. Onto the second part. But other than that, I appreciate y'all. Value y'all, man. This was Consciousness Transferals. I love y'all, man. Y'all put y'all thoughts in the comments below. Also, as well, drop what other topics you might want me to speak and expound upon on, bro. And I'll give my scientific analysis, hypothesis, and theories on, because I gotta base this shit upon some type of. I'm not saying I gotta base everything in science. You feel me? Because we don't gotta just use they shit all the time too. Remember, science is something that they created. We don't just gotta use they shit all the time too. We could just esoterically go off the top with this shit anciently because we know what's going on this realm. Remember, nothing new is under the sun. That's one of the main things we say. Nothing new under the sun. We've been telling ourselves that for years. You know how many times your grandmother, great grandmother, great grandmother, great been telling us that for generations, nigga? Ain't nothing new under the sun, nigga. Yeah, nigga. You found out about them snakes, didn't you? Yeah, like exactly. You see what I'm saying? This shit ancient, nigga. I love y'all. One love, man. Universal. Love y'all out.